वेलकम टू एम्बिशियस चेस माइंड एकेडमी। दोस्तों, ये मेरा पहला वीडियो है और मैं इसमें बात करने जा रहा हूँ ओपनिंग के 6 गोल्डन रूल्स के बारे में। सबसे पहले दोस्तों, मैं आप लोगों को चेस बोर्ड के बारे में बताना चाहूँगा। जैसे आप देख पा रहे हैं, चेस बोर्ड में जो ये 4 बॉक्सेस है, E4, E5, D4 and D5. These 4 squares are called central squares, center of the board. After that, F3 to F6 and C3 to C6. There are 16 boxes you can see. They are also important. These 4 middle squares, E4, E5, D4, D5 are very important squares. Okay, and F3 to F6, C3 to C6. These 16 squares are also important. We try to do in opening center control. Center control means you should try to capture one of the central squares. You can choose there are 2 main opening groups. You can choose king pawn opening or queen pawn opening. So when you move your king pawn or queen pawn opening, you grab one of the central squares with your pawn. That is called center control. So one of your pawn is on the center of the board. You are occupying one of the central squares, so nobody can capture that square with his piece or pawn. Okay दोस्तों, there are 6 golden rules in opening. What they are, we are going to talk about. The first golden rule is control the center. So if we play king pawn opening and opponent does the same, so I'm just talking about the both side best moves. We can choose, there are so many variations we can play, but we can, second thing what we do, development of minor pieces. So we choose here knight to F3. We are developing this minor piece. This is the best square for knight. We could play knight H3 also, but knight F3 is the best because here knight captures 8 squares. E1, D2, E5, D4, E5, G5, H4, H2 and G1. So when we play knight in the corner, knight captures only 4 squares. That means if you play knight to H3, knight will capture a G5, F4, F2 and G1. So just it decreases his number of squares. So it's better to move your knight and always try to place your pieces on this 16 square box. F3 to F6, C3 to C6. There are 16 squares. So you try to keep your pieces so that they will get maximum space. Alright. So first golden rule is control the center. Second is development of minor pieces, and third is castling. So we are going to do that. I develop my bishop here. Black also develops this bishop here. We have so many options, but we choose here castling. So you should try to castle as early or as possible within 8 to 10 moves. It is black's turn. So black can develop this knight here. Now it's white's turn. White can develop this piece. So we can see here both players are developing their pieces and controlling the center. So if this knight or F3 here, this knight is controlling E5 and D4, 2 central squares. This knight on C3 is controlling D5 and E4, 2 central squares. Bishop is diagonally active, and now this is black's turn, so black can do castle here. Now we should think about which piece is undeveloped. We can see our dark color bishop is not active, so we can play D3, and this is called pawn chain. C3, C2, D3 and E4. There are 3 pawns diagonally, so this is pawn chain. That means they are connected. They're connecting each other. It's black's turn. Also, when we play D3, we are opening up this bishop's diagonal, and bishop can go to g5 to pin the knight, or bishop can move to e3. Okay, so it's black turn. Black can play h6 to avoid this pin. Now we can play here bishop e3. We can move knight to d5, and there are lots of moves. For example, if you play bishop e3, black can exchange with this bishop, or black bishop can go to b6. If bishop goes to b6, we can now move our pieces forward like this. Okay, so as you can see, white has developed all his pieces, and now white is going to play middle game. In middle game, we should try to grab central squares. We should try to grab space in opponent's territory. And friends, as I told you, there are 6 golden rules. I just want to repeat these three things which I have already taught you. First is center control, second is development of minor pieces, and third is castling. They are very important thing we should do. And there are 3 don'ts also, friends, what we should not do. The first don't is we should not take out our queen earlier. Second thing, we should not move a piece twice in the opening. And third thing is we should not move corner pawns. That means A file pawn, B file, G and H file pawns without any strong need. होप फ्रेंड्स आप लोगों को ये वीडियो पसंद आई होगी. दिस इज़ माई फर्स्ट वीडियो. मैं आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आप मेरे चैनल को लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब करें, और इन 6 गोल्डन ओपनिंग रूल्स को, प्रिंसिपल्स को आप अपनी गेम में ज़रूर यूज़ कीजिए. आई थिंक ये वीडियो बिगिनर लेवल, इंटरमीडिएट लेवल प्लेयर्स के लिए काफ़ी यूज़फुल होगी. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग. Thank you so much.